So here it is, Pathfinders, a campfire roll and write, a game designed specifically for Pathfinders and Pathfinder clubs, but anyone's welcome to play. This is actually representing the first year of being in Pathfinder, so this is the friend sheet. And more specifically, this is your first camp out as a Pathfinder. You're likely to experience some of these activities. Some of them help you toward honors, but anyway, just in general, some of these really beneficial kind of developmental activities that you experience in Pathfinders you actually get to interact with here on the game sheet. So there will be hiking and swimming, setting up your tent, even learning the Pathfinder pledge. So we'll just jump right in, pointing out that I'm going to be playing solo. This game can actually be played with any number of people. It's best when you have a neighbor on your left and a neighbor on your right. Because I don't, I'm going to be using this third step whenever I want to. Normally, you'd have to negotiate with one of your neighbors, and I'll explain a little bit more about that as I go. But the first step here of the first round of 15 rounds is to roll the dice. So let's get started. So that is a black 6 and a white 2. Black 6 and a white 2. Now I'm going to choose one of these activities: the hike, the swim, the tent, or the pledge. What's interesting is if I look at the hike, the way the hike works is that you take the difference of the dice. So in this case, it'd be 6 minus 2 is 4, and that's how many steps you take. And that actually sounds really good to me because I make progress. I'm going to be skipping this fire bonus, which is a little bit sad, but I think I'm going to do it. So I'm going to take 4 steps on the hike. It's really good progress. So I passed these first 3 and I stopped on the 4th. Now the question is, do I want to reuse this roll? And normally I'd check with my neighbors. If one of them agrees, then we would use a handshake on the side corresponding to that neighbor. In my case, just playing solo, I get to just mark one of these off if I want to reuse the roll. I like it. I think I will. So I'm going to use one of these handshakes. A black 6 is interesting because it's wild down here on the pledge. All these lines correspond to one of the dice values for the 6 by itself. I'm sorry, for the black die by itself. So I'm going to do that. So complete any one keyword with a 6. What I notice here is that in the line corresponding to the black 2, at the end of it, there are 3 words, so it takes some time, but at the end of it, there are 2 bonuses, fire bonuses. So I like that. So I've reused the roll. That was step 3, and we'll just end the round here with step 4. Now we start the next round. Okay, so in this case, it's a white 6 and a black 2. This is the opposite, the opposite of the last roll we had. What's interesting about a white 6 in the swim is that this is the most points you can get. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use this white 6. And that's how swimming works. You check the white die by itself. You place that number in the next circle. The trick here and the issue with the swim is that the number you place next needs to be larger than the number just before it. So I'll show you how this works, but we have a problem here now that we have a 6. We're not going to be able to place anything in this until we get a swim bonus. But a 6 is great in the swim because the way points work in the swimming area is you're just going to add them up, all the numbers you have in those circles. So it's the sum of those numbers that's going to be the score. So the question is now, do I want to reuse this roll? And I do. And the reason is because I noticed that the that I'm able to make progress here in this black 2 area. So I'm going to mark this off and then circle in another 2. That is good news. And then end round 2. Okay, so that's a white, let's say a black 1 and a white 4. So that's a difference of 3. So I can take 3 steps on the hike. The problem is I'll be skipping this bird. when you stop on the animals, that's how you're going to earn points in the hike. So I don't want to do that. This will let me fill in a 5 on the tent. The way the tent works is that you sum the numbers on the dice and you fill in a space equal to that sum. I guess I'll do that. I'll just go in the tent here and fill in that 5. Do I want to use this roll again? Not super motivated to do that. So it's the end of round 3. Start round 4. Okay, so a black 1 and a white 3 this time. We're still in trouble on the swim. We can't make any progress as long as we don't have a 1 here to work with. So yeah, this is tricky. So I'd be skipping the bird up here again. A 4 is kind of helpful on the tent, just because it's less likely that a 4 is going to be rolled. You know what? I think I'm good there. We'll try that. These low numbers. Okay, black 2, white 1. Ah, here we go. So now there's another black 2. So I'm going to use it here. Now the fire bonuses. So the way a fire bonus works, I'm going to mark it off here. I'll come down to the fire and I'll fill in from the base of the fire. I'm going to fill in one of these 2 triangles. In each of these spaces, there's a bonus that works just a little differently in each area. So I'm going to take a hiking bonus. That's what that compass means. Come up to the hike and I'll take 1 step on the hike. That's what the hiking bonus from the fire does. And I'll get to circle, I'll get to stop on that bird. So there are my first points coming from the hike. So that's pretty exciting. But I'm not done because I have another fire bonus here to use. And what am I going to do now? Do I want to, yep, I'm going to move up to the swim. So what the swim does, the swim bonus, lets me place a 1 in the next circle, next space on the swim track. So I've just reset from a 6 to a 1. That's good news because now I can build up from that 1. So that's perfect. Do I want to reuse the roll again? A 3 could be good. You know what? I am, and okay, the reason is, so I'm going to use this roll again. The reason is because there's a difference of 1 here. So that means I'm going to check, I'm going to look up here at the hike, take the difference of the dice. That's how many steps I can take. And what's good news is that I get to take a step onto a fire bonus. So that actually lets me fill in 1 more fire bonus. And I think what I'll do, I'll move up here, because you can mark any space adjacent to something marked before. So this is a tent bonus. I can fill in any 1 number. So I'm going to target one of these numbers that's going to be more difficult to roll. And we'll just say we'll just go with the 3 for now. Okay, so we finished step 3. Now we're on step 4. And guess what? On the 5, 10, and 15, those rounds, you get a fire bonus. So I get actually 1 more bonus to work with. And should I take another tent bonus? I think so. I feel good about working on the tent this time. And that lets me fill in any one of these. So I'm going to go with the 11. Because again, that's fairly unlikely to roll. Okay, so that's the end of round 5. We'll start round 6. I feel good about this game so far. So here's a black 3 and a white 2. I could make progress on the swim with the white 2, but there's not many points there. I could take a step. The 5's already filled in here. I could use it. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and work on the pledge as well. So I used the black 3 on the pledge, on this third line of the pledge. And I'm just going to leave it at that because a 5 is not an especially attractive roll. So that's the end of round 6. Start round 7. So black 1. Now white 4 is a little better on the swim. It's weird that I'm getting these 5s. Ooh, the hike. 1, 2, 3. The difference being 3. 4 minus 1. I'm actually going to take 1, 2, 3 steps on the hike and stop on the rabbit. So it's the second animal we've earned on the hike. That's exciting. Question is this a good enough roll to reuse? I want to use my reroll, I want to make progress on the tent. I just feel good about the tent right now. So this does not let me make progress on the tent. in terms of using that roll again with a handshake. So we'll just start the next round. So threes, 3 and 3. So this is interesting because we do get to use it in one of these two spaces on the tent. Cannot make progress on the hike because there's no difference. Ooh, interesting. I could play here. You know what? I think I am going to do this. So I'll take a fire bonus because I've completed that line. That's going to give me, I'll go up here to the pledge. So I get to choose another word, and I'll just go with the 1 for no particular reason. So you get to circle or complete any one word over here, and I just chose the first word in the one line. The question is, am I going to use it again? And yes, I am. Because I like this 6. Okay, that's the end of round 8. And we'll start the next round. Okay, a black 2, white 5. Good news for a couple of reasons. One is that here's our first 7. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to use it on the tent because I've been feeling good about the tent anyway. So that's a 7. The 7, you'll notice that there are these lines connected to a fire bonus. This is going to earn us a fire bonus right now. And check this out. I'm going to fill in the pledge, which gives me 1 word. That's going to give me a fire bonus. It's a little sad to use it on the swim because I have a low number on the swim. So I'm actually going to use it on the hike. And that puts us right here. Question is, do I want to reuse this roll? I actually think so because the 5 would be nice. Ooh, wait, 1, 2, 3. The 5 would be really nice on the swim. But you know what? I'm not really focusing on the swim this game, so I'm gonna finish the round and save my handshakes. Okay, a black 5 and a white 1. So white 1 is definitely not going to help us on the swim. Oh, the difference being 4, I can take 4 steps on the hike. I'm definitely going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let's place these here. So that's a 5 and a 1. I was too excited there for a second. Okay, so a 5 would help us here, and the 6 would help us here. So you know what? I am going to use the handshake and fill in this 6. Why? Because we have some thrilling news, and that is that at the end of this round, we get a fire bonus. That fire bonus is definitely going to be the tent. So, which is the best one to fill in here? I think the 10 is the least likely to be rolled out of all of these. So I'm going to do that. That was cool. That was a good turn. Okay, now we have 5 left. Did I miss something? 5 here. Oh, maybe I actually wrote it twice. Oh, that would be tragic. And there's an 8. So I think I was on track before. So I'll just go like that. Okay, so here's our 8. This is perfect. Just double checking what's going on with the rest of the activities. A 2 would get us here. A 3 would get us here. No, I'm all in on the tent. So, and it doesn't matter because they both end up with a fire bonus. So I'm just going to fill in this 8. Take a fire bonus. Take a step on the hike. Get another fire bonus. And at this point, I'm just going to try to open up this area up here, take a swim. And even though this is not many points and it doesn't help, I mean, it's kind of a waste because it doesn't help us reset anything. At least I'm making super good progress on these other things. So do I want to use this again? Oh, man. Now, yes, I do. Yes, I do want to use it again. The reason is that, well, I have a choice still. Do I finish this 8, which gets us a fire bonus? That would take us 1 step on the hike. Or actually, I'm going to use it on the hike anyway as my first choice. So it's 2 steps. So I've landed on all of the animals. That's going to be maximum points. That's really good news. And that is my last handshake. So that's the last bit of flexibility I have. And let's start. Wow, I feel like I'm making really good progress here. So we'll just call this a black 1 and a white 5. Okay, so what's great about the hike is I'm going to be able to use this fire bonus here for the hike, so I don't have to think about the hike at all anymore. A black 1 doesn't help us. A white 5 does help us. So I'll just do that because yeah, decent points. Okay, so that's it. Okay, black 3, white 2. Yikes. Okay, so the question is, do I want to use it here on the hike? Not really, because I'm going to be able to get it anyway. Actually, what I am going to do, so anytime I want to ignore this roll, I can actually use a fire bonus instead. That's listed up here. I haven't really needed to use this ability yet, but I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to take a fire bonus, which lets me move up here. That gives me 1 step on the hike, and that lets me complete the hike. The good news too is that it opens up a couple of other fire bonuses for these last 2 rounds if I need to take them. So I'm hoping for an 8 or 9 right now. And look at that. I got a 9. So he's a black 4. Awesome. Okay, so there's my 9. And now what's great is, ooh, interesting. Do I want to reset the swim? No, I'm going to go with the pledge. So what's great is, yeah, no matter what this last roll is, I'm going to get a fire bonus, which will give me the tent, and I'll fully complete the tent. This is huge. Okay, so this gives me 1 word. I'm just going to choose the 4. Hopefully that's wise. This is my very last roll. So, okay. So it's not great news because I can't naturally fill in something great in one of these. So I will take a fire bonus, which gives me the tent right here, which gives me another fire bonus, which gives me a 1 on the swim. That's it. I'll come down here, use my last fire bonus. So that lets me completely fill in the fire, which is great, and you'll see why in a second. And that ends the game with round 15. So I'm going to pull in the scoring sheet. In the actual printed version of the game, this is going to just be on the back of your game sheet like this. Okay, so let's go through how scoring is going to work. First of all, let's check the hike. So you'll get points for every animal you stop on. If you stop on all 4 animals, you get 25 points. That happened over here. For finishing the hike, you get a bonus of 15 points. So we get a total of 40 big points out of the hike. That's great. Let's look at the tent next. Some more great news. If you were to fill in 4 spaces on the tent, 4 to 6 spaces, you'd get 10 points. 7 to 9 spaces, you'd get 15. If you filled in 10, you get 25. But since we fill in all 11, we're going to get another massive 40 points. That was perfect. Okay, the swim. The swim is a little bit sad for us because we're just going to sum up these numbers. We don't get the bonus because we didn't finish the track here. So that's just 9 plus 4 is 14. So we get 14. That's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, so that was a swim, and now here's the pledge. You get 7 points for every completed line. So we've only completed 3 lines here for the 1, 2, and 3 black dice. So that'll give us 21 points, which feels pretty good actually, because that wasn't our focus. We didn't really work super hard on the pledge, but it did work out. Okay, also some final good news. Because we filled in this fire at the very end, we're going to get 10 bonus points. The reason you don't get many points from the fire is because you're going to want to use it anyway, but at least it's cool to get a little something for sitting around the fire and enjoying it so much. Okay, now we just add things up. So we're at 80, 90, 111, 125. Well, that's a pretty strong score. So excited about that. Last thing you might want to do with this game sheet is use it for kindling. You're welcome to do that. You're also welcome to scan this QR code, find the website, find my social accounts and all that. So, hey, thanks for watching. In fact, you could even play along as we go. Yeah, so this is it. This is a Pathfinder game. Hope you enjoyed.